Call me a god.
Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Hello guys, so today we're going to review Ahsoka episode 3, and surprisingly it was actually a good episode. I was actually shocked how decent it actually was. It felt like more like a Clone Wars, I guess, Rebels episode, even though I haven't watched Rebels, but it's probably on the level of Clone Wars. I just think, when I fully watch it, I'm probably going to prefer Clone Wars, especially after that final season that we got for Clone Wars, even though there was some flaws in that season, but it was still good. It was still a good final season. But yeah, this is actually a better episode because we're actually seeing Wen actually have flaws, and to me, like, what she did in episode 1 was already a flaw at the end, when she tried to take the flipping key and basically failed, and the enemy got it. So that's already a big flaw in itself. And yeah, that's the thing about this show, because for so long they've basically made, the Force is female, and they're just basically perfect like Rey. Like, she doesn't even have to have no training, she can just defeat anyone. No true character development. Like, my god, it's just been bad for so long. But then Ahsoka comes along and actually is actually a true, developed female character who actually does have flaws. And then there's this character from Rebels who actually has flaws, even though I'm not a big fan of her. She actually has flaws, so she has a chance to basically grow as a character. And that's the thing that's been a big problem for Star Wars for so long, that the female characters in Star Wars are just they're not written well. They don't have any flaws, they're just perfect. And like I said, it's been a problem for so long. And I'm actually surprised that they're actually fixing that, in Ahsoka. But the person who wrote Clone Wars and I think Rebels basically is writing this show, so he's actually getting to write good female characters in Star Wars, which is just surprising. Like, probably since I don't even know, like the 2000s with Padme in the prequel movies. Like, she was a good written female character, and I grew up with the Clone Wars, so there's that too, yeah, and Rebels. But in actual live action Star Wars, it's been like over a decade since we actually had a good written female character, which is just crazy to say, yeah. And Ahsoka, like I said, is the one who got me into Star Wars from the Clone Wars, and to see her actually being treated good in this, it's just those first 2 episodes were so boring. This feels more like the true episode 2 than the episode 2 we actually got. Like that's probably like the most boring episode I've seen from Star Wars in live action so far, out of the Disney Plus shows. And then this episode 3, is more like probably like one of the best episodes we've seen in live action Star Wars, which is just funny to say. Because yeah, Andor definitely, if I'm counting that, because Andor doesn't really feel like Star Wars, but if I'm counting Andor, I mean, that's basically in the top flipping 3 with their episodes. Like, my god. Otherwise it'd meant to be Mandalorian from season 1 and 2, those kind of episodes with It's Obvious, which is number 1, my favourite episode so far from, Disney Plus Star Wars. When you get to see flipping Luke Skywalker again and all that. And then there's the one with I think it's the one where they actually reintroduce Ahsoka, but in live action. I can't explain how just hyped I was for that episode, and when I saw it I was just so satisfied, because I'm finally getting to see my favourite Star Wars character in live action, and they did a good job. But yeah, just seeing Ahsoka actually train her, because I guess she hasn't really done any training for so long, where Rey, she didn't even need no training, she was just perfect. Not even from Luke Skywalker, the original hero of Star Wars. She didn't even need his help, and they just made him useless anyway. It's just, man. And you got Ahsoka actually trying to help her, even the robot basically mentoring it and saying she's basically trash unless she gets better. Otherwise, she'll just get stabbed again and die. Yeah, like the characters actually have flaws, and I'm happy that they're trying to build good female characters for once, instead of just making them too perfect and not interesting. Yeah, so that I'm just happy they didn't ruin Ahsoka. Like that's the biggest thing I was worried about with this show, because since Star Wars has gotten so bad with only some stuff being good, I was thinking like when I finally got to see my favorite Star Wars character have a live action show, I was thinking it was going to ruin her. But so far, I'd say they've done a good job. It's just those first two episodes were boring, especially the second episode. But then this episode comes and just actually feels like Clone Wars, Rebels, yeah. And just seeing her trying to learn the Force, and Ahsoka giving her advice, and also training her as well, trying to make her get used to, like, if she's in a situation where it's dark or something or she can't see, she needs to be prepared to fight. But since she's kind of Mandalorian, you'd think she'd already be used to something like that because of the things they have to wear and be more aware. Yeah. But yeah, we get some good training. You get to see the ambassador from Andor, so it was good to see her talking about Thrawn and his return. Somehow Thrawn's returned. I mean, they didn't say that, but that would have been terrible if they said that. But yeah, just discussing it with the general, yeah, and what they'll do about it. And I guess you get to see her son too, her little boy, who wants to be a Jedi. And man, if I had a kid who said they want to be a Jedi, I'd be like, bro, you want to die? Like, man, not everyone's Ahsoka, because I think Ahsoka lives for longer than any Jedi. I think you get to see her grow old. So yeah, not everyone's gonna be Ahsoka. So yeah, I'm not even sure where's gonna live that long if they make more movies for her. Like the way how the old school Star Wars fans feel when they killed off Luke, Han, and Leia. The same thing could possibly happen to Finn and Rey. At least I'm not sure about the pilot guy, but yeah, like Oscar Isaac's character. But I just feel like they'd probably kill one of those two in a future Star Wars movie, to be honest, even if it's not the next one, the one after, because a lot of people don't like Rey and Finn. Since he showed so much hate to Star Wars, they might bring him back just to kill him, to be honest. To be honest, I mean, I'd be surprised if they don't make the same mistakes that they did to the previous old characters, just killing them all off and ruining their characters. But yeah, let's just continue on. So yeah, Ahsoka's just giving her more tips, just having a conversation with her. I just really like this robot, man. I don't know if he's in Rebels, probably is, but yeah, he's a pretty cool. Well, should I even call him a character? And I kind of like when they end up getting attacked by the people who are after him. Belin's people and his mentor, or his Padawan, whatever I should call her. Yeah, I forget her name, so. Like when the robot gets hit, she just treats it like a robot, because Disney Star Wars decided to treat robots like actual humans, where they have relationships with humans, and I'm just like, and what they did in Mandalorian, I'm not even gonna talk about that episode with Lizzo. Oh, yeah. Let's just get to the part where things get good. You actually start to get attacked, and things actually get fun when they're trying to fight against the people who are after him. Belin's people. And she's actually doing a good job as a pilot, so she's still got that skill. It's just when it comes to fighting, she's kind of not the best. Yeah, she might be able to take down one or two robots, but actual proper Siths, yeah. Especially Balin, like, she'd die in one hit, man. She wouldn't even stand a chance. Because I think even Ahsoka would probably struggle with him, even though she can take down Darth Maul. Yeah. Like, she can beat Darth Maul in the fight. But then it gets to a point where it looks like, they defeat him, but then I guess Ahsoka is prepared to, fight him. Flipping Master Chief style, she literally goes out of the ship, and basically, we're going to give the Covenant back their bomb. Yeah, just like Master Chief. Yeah, she just goes out trying to fight him, I guess. Defend, while she's trying to fix the ship so they can escape, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, just Ahsoka being a badass. I don't even know if I can actually show it properly. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can. But she ends up getting back in, and they end up, retreating. And I think they find out some information too. Well, I don't know if Balin's basically at the place, but basically send more people to hunt them down, since they're basically in the area now. So it looks like episode 4 is going to be another good episode too, possibly better than this episode. So, congratulations. Thank you, Dave Filoni. Is that his name? Like the one who made Clone Wars. Basically the reason why I'm even here watching Star Wars stuff anyway. Because man, he's my childhood man. And then if it's Dave Filoni or Dave Filon, he created my favourite Star Wars character, and just such an awesome cartoon show as a kid, like one of my favourites on Cartoon Network. So to think that he's actually making a good Star Wars show while Disney's in charge, they're actually giving him possibly full control of this as well, like, bravo, man, and he's doing a good job. Yeah, and this makes me want to watch Rebels now, so I've got more information on who Thrawn is, because I have no clue. I knew about some blue guy who was the main villain in Rebels, and you get to see Darth Vader fight Ahsoka and stuff, but like, my knowledge is really bad. I've only watched 1 or 2 episodes, so I guess I'm going to start watching it now. Since this episode was actually good too, I've got more of a reason to actually watch it now. And yeah, it started off, not that strong. To me, they should have brought their A game straight away. Yeah, because a lot of people are just like turned off with Ahsoka already, and they possibly missed this episode. It's like with Andor, no one cared about Andor when it first came out. Those first 2 episodes were so slow, but I stayed with it because I could tell that the characters were actually getting developed. It's just the pacing was slow, but it was interesting, so I decided to give it a chance. But if it took too long, like if it got to episode 3 and it still didn't get good, probably would have dropped it. Same with this show. If this episode wasn't good, the next episode would have been my last chance, and then I just would have dropped it until it was finished. But it actually got good. I'm actually surprised it got good. Like, well done. Yeah. And the biggest thing is, the female characters having flaws, they're not perfect. Yeah. All we need now is, a male character who's not getting treated like crap, or the villain, like this guy. But yeah, it was a good episode, yeah. So I probably rate this like 8 out of 10, this episode. Yeah, I would go higher, but, the biggest issue with this episode is that it's too short. Like, the other 2 episodes that were boring, they were too long, where this episode was too short when it was actually good, to the point where it actually left me wanting more, which is just crazy to say. I didn't enjoy the first 2, but then this episode, bravo. And yeah, that's all I've got to say, I guess. Yeah, definitely giving Ahsoka more of a chance now, because this was like one of the last chances, really, because if it didn't pick up, I would have dropped it. And I guess if people still don't like it after this episode, I guess that's their opinion, because I'm always open to give a show a chance if it gets better, but if it never gets better, I'm just going to drop it. I'm very honest, so I'm not going to lie. So yeah, it actually did get better, and I just hope it stays on this level, and it seems like the next episode is going to be even better than this one, so that's a good sign. And I wish I could watch the next episode now, which is even a better sign. So yeah, just gonna end things here, guys. Hope you enjoyed the review. I'll see you in the next one. Peace, and may the force be with you.